off with Craig with this one, man. Tennessee Titans at Indianapolis Colts. Craig, who you got?
I'm okay. Offensively, man, this is tough. Two really good running backs, two quarterbacks that can throw the ball. But I think that surprisingly to me, Carson Wentz is playing a lot better to me than Tannehill right now. And just look at the wide receivers. Wide receivers to me favor Tennessee, Brown and Jones. I do like Pittman. I think Ty is coming back this week, so hopefully he wasn't there last week. Hopefully he'll be back this week. The running backs, man. I mean, Taylor's starting to come on, and he's playing amazing. But Henry's just on another level. So, man, the offense to me, I love the way Carson Wentz is playing right now. I didn't think he was going to play like this. He's not turning the ball over. He's out there with. He didn't have Ty for a long period of time, and the running game is starting to play well. Kind of still waiting for Hines to show up. He hasn't shown up yet. But I just think Mac is taking over as the number two. I know Hines is more of a pass catching back, but he hasn't really played well this year, or hasn't played a lot this year. But I'm really hoping that he shows up soon. But overall, I think I'm just I kind of want to do a push, but I'm going to slightly give the edge to. I'm going to slightly give the edge to Indianapolis, just slightly. I know I know Tennessee has the better running back, and they have the better looking wide receivers on paper. I think AJ Brown's finally starting to be healthy and come back and play well. Julio Jones hasn't been there since the first week. And if they can get the ball to Pittman and when Ty played, he played pretty well in his first game back, and then he was out last week. But if they both play, I think their offense can, and I think they have a better quarterback right now. I just think they do. If they play to their capabilities, I think Indianapolis should have the better offense. Defense is Indianapolis still. I don't believe in Tennessee's defense at all. I know they held Mahomes to 3 points. Now, if they can do that again this week on the road, then yeah, I'll kind of start to shift my thought process to maybe Tennessee's defense to start to come around. But until then, I'm going with the Colts defense. Coaching wise, might be kind of want to do a push here because I like what Vrabel has done the last couple of years. Been in the playoffs, been to the AFC Championship game. But Frank Reich, I believe in him as well. Once he gets this team gets through this first five games of the season, I think now they're starting to play pretty well, and they got a favorable schedule. So I think he can make a good run. Man, it's tough. This whole matchup is tough to me.
Good game.
But I know, right? I hope so. Hope it turns. I'm like that. It did it to me last week again. I said Bengals, Ravens. Give me a good game. I'm not gonna say nothing this time. I'm not. I'm just, But I am going. 27-21 Colts.
All right. Tennessee Titans and Indianapolis Colts. Okay. This is a good one. This is actually a really good game and a really good time for both of these teams. Colts have been trending up. Offense, I gotta just it could be a push, but I gotta go with the Titans. Just because of AJ Brown and the way that Derrick Henry is balling. But the Colts offense has been playing really good. Phenomenal. I'm going to talk more about that later when I break down the game. So I got to give it to Tennessee, even though I like the way Colts offense is trending up. This conversation, if it happens in the playoffs, might be a different one. We're talking about offenses. Defense, I got to give it to the Colts. No way I'm giving it to the Titans. They're hiring cornerbacks off the street, and which I'm surprised they didn't get tested by Kansas City. which is very interesting. But they were bringing a lot of pressure. But I think that the Colts defense is a lot better than Kansas City. They're a lot more well coached, and they're gonna be ready to play. They're just one of the good defense in the NFL, and they've been since Frank Wright's been there. They've had a good defense. Uh, coaching. Oh man, this is a tough one. I might go push on this one. Vrabel he wins. He's consistent. I'm surprised. We broke down. I was like, man, I don't think he could do anything with this roster, and they got some quality wins this year so far. So it's like, well, maybe he's a better coach than we anticipate. But then you have Frank Wright on the other side, who's doing a phenomenal job with Carson Wentz. Nobody's talking about. Carson Wentz is like 11 touchdowns in like one interception. And I think the last person to do that was Peyton. It's not Peyton, but right now, it looks like that he's definitely worth the first round pick. He's gonna listen. They give him a first round pick. I think they're okay if they go to the playoffs. He gets another season, and he's been playing good. I'm not even gonna lie. So I think with the injured cornerbacks, Ty comes back healthy. Pittman, I think the Colts they're gonna do some damage. So with coaching it, oh man, I'm gonna give it to Frank Wright. Just because of what he's done with Carson Wentz. Right, just because of what he's done with Carson Wentz, I think that's a great job right there, man. The game. Oh man, this is a good one. I can't wait to watch it. I'm gonna have to get a link and watch it. I don't think it's gonna be broadcast. So
Set yourself up, man, for high hopes.
yeah, I think these teams are gonna play good. I think it's gonna be. I think this is gonna be a good game. Not my. Yeah, this has potential. I think it's going to be game of the week. This is the two games I was talking about. The other game of the week is lower on the list, but yes. And I'm getting my hopes up. I do it every Sunday, man. I think this is going to be good, man. So I can't wait. And I'm going to pick. I know what I said the previous question. This is the right now. This is talking about next week, guys. Okay. See how I did that? Very good. I got the Colts winning, man. 31 to 28. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be a really good game. I think the Colts are gonna edge out. All right, Corey. Tennessee Titans at Indianapolis Colts. Who you got?
All right, so as I mentioned before, I do think this game can determine the AFC South winner if the Titans win. So they'll essentially be at 4 games and have a fairly easy schedule remaining. Offensively, I'm actually going to give the edge to Tennessee just because of what Derrick Henry is doing on his historic pace. But I don't think the gap is as big as people who don't follow the AFC South may think it is. As you guys have said, Carson Wentz has been playing a lot better as he's gotten healthy. The offensive line has been playing much better than it was those first couple of weeks of the season. Quentin Nelson coming back healthy, coming back into the starting lineup against the Niners was good. Chris Reed was playing phenomenally. The guy we actually got from your Panthers in the offseason. He played phenomenally. He played so well for Nelson that he is looking to potentially supplant Glowinski starting at right guard now.
Wow.
And the offense has really started to open up as Wentz has gotten healthy and more comfortable in the offense. The last 2 seasons, the Colts had 3 plays that were 50 yards or more. They already have 4 of those this season with Carson Wentz. Jonathan Taylor, I think, is making the case for being the best running back in the NFL behind Derrick Henry. It's just when he sees a lane or he gets in the open field, the dude just has another gear. And someone that is as massive as he is and as built as he is, running a 4.3 is just insane. Michael Pittman is, I think, coming along and showing that he is a legit number 1 wide receiver in this league. Definitely, he's not a top 5 guy, but he's definitely a top 10, top 12 wide receiver. And with Carson Wentz, he actually has a receiver that can, give him a jump ball and he can go get it. But the biggest thing for the offense this year has been Carson Wentz taking care of the football. As James said, he has one interception on the year. He does have a couple of fumbles, but at least the one the Baltimore game was he got hit blindside, not his fault. But he looks nothing like he did last year in Philadelphia. And as a side note, I think some questions could start coming to Roseman if Carson Wentz has a really good season and Philadelphia and Hurts, continue looking like this. That's different topic. Defensively, I'll give the edge to Indianapolis, even if I'm not sold on Matt Eberflus as their defensive coordinator long term. The rain helped hide it against San Francisco, but I think the loss of Julian Blackmon is going to be really big for this defense. The dude was playing phenomenal football, was flying around the field in the vein of Bob Sanders, which as a Colts fan, I do not say that lightly. So his loss is going to be huge, but Buckner is having another really strong season, and Darius Leonard has been on one ankle this year and still been huge. He's had a hand in 8 turnovers this season, which is just crazy. Coaching wise, I give the edge to Frank Reich. I say he's 4 different quarterbacks each of the last 4 years, and the turnaround we've seen from Sunday Night Football, they showed Wentz's quarterback rating last year was a 70 something. This year it's like 102, 30-point difference. These two teams played back in week 3 when Wentz could barely walk. Titans were able to get the win. I believe they won by 9, but the game was a lot closer than the final score looked. I know the Titans are on a roll right now, coming off that dominating win against Kansas City. But I think the Colts are playing a lot better football. The game's in Indianapolis, and while I think it's close, I think the Colts are going to pull it out 31-27.
All right. That's interesting. Now, also, I hope so. I just picked up Carson Wentz in my fantasy. Just picked him up, man.
Why I had drafted him in 2 leagues as my backup quarterback.
Yeah, and I tried to get Cousins, and I was like, oh, I know he's going to be gone because I'm not starting Daniel Jones. I don't care. I don't know. People are like get Daniel Jones or Teddy Bridgewater. It's like no. I refuse to get Teddy Bridgewater and refuse to get Daniel Jones, even though the matchups are great. But those 2 quarterbacks find a way to mess up. So therefore, I'm going to pick Carson Wentz, and I believe he's going to have a good game against Tennessee. That's just me. I think I made an educated fantasy guess, hopefully. But yeah, I think it's going to, especially with Tennessee's injuries on the back end of their defense.
So far this season, Carson Wentz has 5 games where he's had 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
Yep, he's balling, man. He's balling. All right,